Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to take a look at the 5 must-have modifications for your car. So we've done similar videos in the past, but they've been dedicated for the Mark 7 Golf. Whatever car you got, you're all welcome, and you don't just have to have a Golf to watch my content, because that would just be stupid. Now the first on the list is gonna be lowering springs. Now lowering springs are a good alternative. Some people say you need coilovers, and some people say you need air suspension. But anyway, lowering springs are cost effective, they look good, and they work well. For example, if a 60mm drop is a bit too much for your standard shocks, then it's not really going to handle the best. But anyway, lowering springs are cheap enough. Most of you have gone onto eBay, typed in lowering springs, and a lot of sellers come up. I would go onto forums and have a look on what springs people recommend for your car, as in brand and drop wise. Next on the list, I'm going to put wheels and tyres. Wheels can be make or break. I've been in this situation and I've made my car look worse. Now when it comes to buying wheels, I would take your time. There's no rush. You want the best possible wheels that fit your style. Now if you're stance in the car, if you're track in the car, if it's just your daily driver, you're going to want a nice set of wheels that fits that purpose, because you're not going to want a 165 50/15 on a 9J wheel around track. That's going to be sketchy and you're going to have an accident. So whatever style you are going for, take your time, make sure it fits your purpose, and overall make sure you like them. Now for the tyres, it really depends on what car you've got. If you've just got a daily driver, or you've got something like a Swift Sport, then a Falcon or Toyo tyre is gonna be fine. I try and stay away from budget tyres, even if I had a day home it is, because if I did slam my brakes on, I want to stop in time. So I would always go for something a little bit better. But if you're like me, you've got a Golf R, Golf GTI, Focus RS, Focus ST. If you have a performance car, I can't recommend Michelin Pilot Sport 4s enough. Next up, I'm going to say brakes. Now I would say brakes and traction over performance, because there's no point in having all this power and then you can't go around corners and you can't slow down for the corners. I kind of done this the other way round, power before brakes, and I did notice the brakes were fading a lot. I didn't have no confidence going into corners, and overall, where you wanted to have fun, you couldn't. Now when it comes to brakes, you don't need to break the bank. Get it? Break. It was poor. It was poor. Now what I mean by this is, if you've got your Mark 7 GTI and you want a big brake kit, that can cost you anything from £1,200 all the way up to about £3,500 and more. Now this isn't the case. You don't have to do this. Obviously, it depends on what you use your car for. You're going on track, well, why not upgrade to a set of RS3 brakes? Or if you're using it for a fast road setup and you use it every day, why not go for the Golf R caliper and the 340mm disc from the Club Sport S, and go for a better pad like a Fredo or a Tarox. With the brakes, what I'm saying is you don't need to buy a big brake kit. Just get the brakes off the higher performance model. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Now next on the list is gonna be exhaust. Now exhausts can make a car sound like a straight pipe Fiesta. It's not good. Anyway, when it comes down to exhaust, there's loads of brands out there. You can go down the custom route, but if you want to buy off the shelf, maybe look towards Miltech, Cobra, Scorpion, and for my favourite, Remus. And if you've got a 1 litre loop bore, try and stay away from exhausts, because when you've got 50 brake horsepower and a cherry bomb hanging off the back, your car sounds as if it's doing 80 when it's doing 30. So it really depends on what kind of car you've got. And some exhaust tips can cost you quite a bit of money, like Remus. For my gloss black ones, they were £300. Why did I pay that much for tips? Anyway, if you like the look of them, I'm sure you're gonna go for them no matter what they cost. Now before I get on to the last modification, I'm gonna chuck two in for you. So these two mentions I think are really gonna benefit you, especially if you're gonna up the power. If you've got a manual, I would highly recommend a clutch. With my car, I wouldn't have been able to up the power without changing that clutch, and the clutch has made the car feel so much more like a car, because these new cars, they tend to feel artificial, they don't feel mechanical, and they don't feel like a high powered car. I went with a sintered clutch because why would I have over 500 horsepower and have an organic clutch in it? To me, if it's got that much power in it, you want it to feel kind of aggressive. You want it to have some feel to it. Now it depends on what car you've got. If you've got a Polo GTI, then you want your car to feel stock, but you want a stage 1 map. Same for a Golf GTI, Golf R's, all these kinds of cars. Then an organic clutch will be perfect for that. But if you're really going to up the power, I would highly recommend a sintered clutch because they do feel really good, and it makes driving feel much more engaging. Now for the second mention, I'm gonna aim this to DSG drivers, MTA drivers, ZF drivers, and you get the point. If you've got an auto box in your car and you want to up the power, I would highly recommend tuning that gearbox, because a gearbox tune makes that car shift so fast. If you think your DSG car changes fast, wait until you drive a DSG car with a gearbox map. It just changes so quick. I can't even put into words how quick these things change, especially on the launch. It just adds to the fun. Auto cars can lack in that department with fun, so when you change it into manual mode, you use those paddles and the gearbox has been mapped, it is way more fun and so much faster. Now on to the last modification. If you've got a turboed car, I would definitely consider this. ECU tune. Even if you just go for a stage 1, it transforms your car. If you've never driven a tuned car, I'd recommend you go and do it. Now where you think your Golf GTI is fast or your Focus ST is fast, wait until you jump into a mapped one, because this completely changes the driving experience. It really does open up the car, and it is surprising how restricted these standard cars are. I can't believe the difference my car made from stock to stage 2. It was over 100 bhp gain, that's just crazy. But anyway, a lot of cars may just get a 30 to 40 bhp gain. Now we've got an Abarth 500 and we had that mapped, and it went from 135 bhp to 195 bhp, and in such a small car that made a massive difference. So that's pretty much it for this list, and it really depends on what car you've got in terms of price. Now if you've got an RS6, things are going to be expensive, but then if you've got a Suzuki Alto, you'll be lucky to find parts, but they'll be cheap. They will be cheap. So hopefully you've all enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate it if you left a like in the like rating down below. It really does help this channel out, and it lets me know what sort of videos you guys enjoy. Hopefully I can pick these R400 bumpers up this week, because the body shop guy who I'm using, it's getting out of hand now, and it's been nearly 3 months. So I meant to be picking these up Friday. So if you do hit that notification bell and click subscribe, you won't miss that video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers.